are sometimes accused of hyping events, but I'll tell you with hand on heart, I have never, ever seen a crowd like this at a darts event before. They're on the tables already, and the majority are backing Baxter. You just wonder how Rod Harrington will cope with that sort of pressure here this evening. But we're about to find out. Here are our commentators, Dave Lanning and Sid Waddell.
Thanks, Jeff. And I've been doing this for 20-odd years. Dave's been doing it the same, man. Last man I saw walk on like that was Jockey Wilson. Baxter looks as though he's in a pub match, so relaxed. But here's Harrington. In alien territory, age 40, beat Spilek. That was the one he was worried about. Did Mawson. Beat Anderson in the Classic, then beat Della. Average 92. He's going to have to do better than that, I think. He looks the more worried, pale of the two. Baxter came on as though he was in a charity match. Never seen such a cocky bloke.
Yes, all week there's been much ado about Ron as he stormed his way to this final. Here's how he did it. Even diffusing the power of Phil Taylor on the way. Now, will he spare the rod, or will the Prince of Style become the king of match-play darts? Best of 35 legs, first to 18, 501 the distance. You know the rules. We are hanging from the rafters here at Blackpool's Winter Gardens, and this is Ronnie Baxter with the first darts of the 1998 World Matchplay.
100! This is the final. As I say, I've seen them all. Come on, I've seen the pale gills of Bristow. The odd wry smile. Even Jockey used to get up there looking tense and angry like a bulldog. Rod's come out looking tense, but Ronnie looks as though he's in a league fun night somewhere in church playing for the pub. And if that's a plus factor, as Phil Taylor said earlier, 10% lift in your game if your crowd's behind you. There's the trajectory, low and flat. Been whacking away at this theory all week that the players need the crowd and the crowd need the players. It's a sort of succubus connection. Well, if Lancastrian fervour as seen in cricket when they used to sing their way to Lords, it's anything to go by. Baxter's got a massive plus here.
Well, there it is, and it is a perfect shot, and it's his 13th of this tournament. We've had, in fact, 145 this week, maximum 180s, and 91 shots of 171 plus.
84. Ronnie require 81.
Treble 19 leaves double 12. He's gone the other way, aimed for treble 15. 2 16s.
49.
Well, Baxter will be back here because Harrington, as you can see, on 196 cannot finish on a double and check out on that score, but he's certainly making a considerable hole in it.
125.
Baxter's finishing has been little short of sensational. Can he maintain that standard? Yes, he can.
Ronnie Baxter. Second leg, it's Rod to throw first. Game on.
This is
So
a long...
first blood to Ronnie Baxter.
And it's a long course, Dave, remember. This is the best of 35 legs. First man to 18's the winner, and you've got to be too clear. There's a little bit of, I would say, political needle here, because he's the WDF, which mainly represents amateur players. He's their number one.
100.
He's quite proud of being an amateur. He says he gets his hands dirty occasionally. Does Ronnie from Church near Accrington. Rod here is from Chelmsford. So he's playing away here, it's Rod.
140.
Beautifully smooth release, a little bit of counter spin imparted with a front finger.
Well, these are
95.
the important opening legs. You can see a very, very smooth release and a flat trajectory from Baxter. Harrington will be hoping to hold this leg with the throw. I have to say, Sid, I was just a little surprised to hear Phil Taylor say these early legs
100.
weren't that critical, because I'm inclined to think that they are, and I'm sure either of these players would be very happy with a 5-0 lead, even though we're going a long, long way.
I think, to be fair to Phil, he is not at his best in early legs. So I think what he was trying to suggest was a player like him takes 3 or 4 legs to get into the flow. Baxter's totally the opposite. In every game he's played here, particularly against Andy Jenkins, who I think was on a match with him,
97.
he came out blasting from the start, and he won't go off. He likes a couple of pints before he plays. He's a big, strong lad, and I don't think he's very reflective about his darts.
41.
So he is
require 122.
on a hiding no nothing here. He's just playing for fun, which is another fact. He's got the crowd on his side. He's enjoying himself. Whereas there are great expectations on Rodney.
And a shot here on for Harrington. Good finish it would be. 122. That is an eloquent statement of intent from Harrington. Here's the winning dart.
Third leg.
Look at that expression. He means business.
The blockhead dart would force some to come downstairs, but he's braving it out on the 60. I think he's risking second and third dart. Beautifully flighted. That had to be precise. Brilliant!
140.
Rodney Harrington, by his own admission, has been patchy this week. He hasn't hit his peak. He's been, Sid, a little bit like the Arsenal of old. Winning 1-0, scraping home, but still winning. Now he's got to become the Arsenal of present and do it with style and peak.
The delicateness of the hold, all important, especially if you're trying like they are. They seem reluctant to go off the 60 through to the treble 19. So there could be some fairly dodgy moments. You see, that would force some players to cover now.
97.
He wasn't missing much earlier. And as we back out, I don't know the best adjectives out of this thesaurus we need to give you for Harrington. He's edgy. He is a high-octane performer, but he lives on his nerves a bit. He has bottled in the past before and missed doubles. Look at this! One of the major sights in world sport! The Winter Gardens on finals night.
Yes, and Baxter certainly is maintaining his killer mood. And it's going to need the very best of Rodney Harrington here to contain him.
Probably go for the option where he doesn't need a treble.
Ronnie requires 79.
Looking towards the 19th, I think, yeah. 20 and tops, good shot. He didn't need the treble, needs the double now. Ducks and dives along the hockey 2 feet. Blasted! He's flying! He's going to take some beating! Not trying to put the box on anybody. He has picked up every game where he left off.